What goes on, guys? We're back here again with another review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Diamond Select Toys Marvel Selects Titanium Man. Now, I wasn't going to get this figure. I saw some reviews of it. I was like, damn, that thing's really nice. And then, in my own head, I read one book one time where I saw Titanium Man in the Winter Guard, and you guys already know the Winter Guard are heroes in my head. They're just heroes for Russia and for my display. You know what? He's not really a hero, but I'm going to make him a hero just because I want any excuse to play with a good toy. And that's exactly what this is. I saw a bunch of reviews of this and it seems pretty freaking awesome. So I thought I'd go ahead and take a look. Thanks to my buddy for picking it up for me because every comic book shop in my local area near my college doesn't have it. I went to 3 comic book shops, and each time I went, they said that they sold their only Titanium Man the day prior that I went. So you know how that goes, but I was able to get it thanks to my buddy, so I appreciate that. Looking on the packaging here, we have the art here, which looks really nice, just like a classic look. You get Titanium Man up on the side, you get Marvel Select there, you get to see him in the package. A little bit interesting, they put the unmasked head sculpt on the body in the package versus the helmeted head. I mean, who cares? I'm just saying it was kind of just an interesting thing. You get some awesome modern art of Titanium Man slamming it on Iron Man. I'll definitely be going ahead and trying to recreate that pose later on in some pictures. Over here, you get the unmasked head. Here's the read-up. Let me get some focus on that. Here's the read-up if you want to read that. Nothing too crazy. Here's the barcode if you think you're going to need that. I mean, it's not going to be in mass retail stores, so I don't think you're going to be able to, you're going to need it, but whatever. There's another product image of the figure, which it can pose better than this, so I don't know why they didn't go ahead and make it pose better than that, but whatever. Nothing on this side, nothing on the bottom except his shoes, nothing on the top. So without further ado, let's finally go ahead and take a look at this big green monstrosity. So finally taking Titanium Man out of the packaging, I gotta say Boris here is one of the best Diamond Select Marvel Select figures I've ever handled. I'm sure there are ones that are maybe better or just as good out there, but I'm gonna say that this is probably the second best Diamond Select Marvel figure I've ever played with, just second to that amazing Diamond Select Rampaging Savage Hulk. And that thing's a work of art within itself, so for me to even be comparing this to that is no less of a miracle, because this thing is so good. Like, honestly, like Titanium Man, you know, he's cool or whatever. He's not a character I think I ever would have asked for, but he does not, I don't feel like he deserves to be this awesome. And, you know, I think that this figure represents what Diamond Select could be versus what they do. Like, I think sometimes they really let themselves go with a crappy or less than subpar figure, and then people get this idea or notion in their head that Diamond Select doesn't know how to make good figures. But no, this will prove that theory wrong. This is a really good action figure, and I'm here to tell you why. So going in for a closer look at the head sculpt. This isn't the head sculpt that he comes with in the packaging. This is the secondary head sculpt, which was a little strange, but, you know, it works for me. It doesn't matter, they're both there. But we'll start with this, with the helmeted head. The vents on the side look nice. There's a little paint imperfection. I wish the line for the mouth was painted just as nice as the eyes, because they're very clean, crisp, and bright, saturated. On the side, you get this great, gorgeous metallic paint. You can see my lights reflecting off of the whole thing. Very smooth, no marbling. Going on the back here, looks really, really nice. The sculpt is really clean and crisp. Going in the body there, you get these like divots or rivets or whatever the hell you want to call them. They look so, so good. Very smooth paint. It feels super high quality too, which is awesome. Going on the back here, there's a little couple scuffs here, but I mean, that kind of happens with metallic paint. It gets a little flaky, so I'm not too worried about that. Looking at the arms here, they look really good. There's some grooves sculpted for better articulation, which I'll show off in a second. And I don't mind that at all. It looks really, really good. Going down here to the hands, they're a little bit of a darker green. Like, there's not just one shade of green over the whole thing. There's a couple paint variations, like on the calves, and the fists are a little bit darker. It seems like the upper torso might be a little bit darker. So it's not just one shade of metallic green across the whole figure. There's a little bit of variation, and I can appreciate that. But yeah, it looks really good. You do get nice, chunky, muscular thighs. I never understand in comic books how armor just like attaches to metal like this, or or to skin like that to mold to the body. I mean, it's pretty cool, but you know, comic books, you get these grooves down the leg here on the calf. They look kind of tubular, but I feel like they're supposed to, so I'm definitely okay with that. And then going down to the boots, they look really, really nice. They're darker to kind of match like the hands. They kind of seem like the same color. They're flat on the top, but on the bottom they have like all this detail. Look at the sculpted detail on that. That is so awesome. And they are a little spiky, but not like in a bad way, in a cool way. And the fact that they went out of the way to paint the bottom of the shoes silver, it's the only place you see silver on the entire thing. Like, that's such a nice detail that they could have easily overlooked but didn't. So for that aspect, I gotta say that's really, really cool, and I'm really happy that they did that. It really adds to the figure, believe it or not, because I feel like if he only had black, yellow, and green all across the whole thing, kind of would have been a little bit plain, but I feel like adding that little touch of silver at the bottom really amped a lot to this figure. But let's go ahead and check out Titanium Man's accessories. So taking a look at his accessories, he doesn't come with much, but he comes with what I feel like he needs. So first up, you get the open hands that are able to replace the fist hands. They just pop out really easy, not loose. The hinge works nice on these, and you get 2 of those. But the real main attraction in accessories is this head sculpt. Now, I usually don't use unmasked head sculpts on masked characters, and while I probably won't do it here neither, this head sculpt is tempting. It looks a little chalky, but I feel like that adds to the effect of like the grittiness of the character. The hair sculpt is really nice on this guy. Really defined sculpt. There's a dry brush on the top that works really well. The head was molded in green. I guess they saved a little bit of money, but you cannot tell that until you like kind of like tilt his head. Let me see, tilt his head to like the side a little bit, but like honestly, it's not that bad. I love the sculpt of the face. You know, Boris looks pretty freaking angry. You know, his teeth are showing, the lip, the molar on the lip, the beard across the face. It is really, really well done. And I'm usually not a fan of the Diamond Select head sculpts, at least the human head sculpts, because they usually tend to look kind of weird. But I feel like it kind of works here in a good way. So very, very happy with this unmasked head. Again, probably won't be putting it like that on my personal shelf, but I could really understand why people would want to do that because it looks really, really nice. But let's go ahead and look at the show-stopping aspect of this figure, the articulation. All right, so starting off with the articulation up at the head, they're going to be pretty much the same for the masked or the unmasked head, but I feel like I'm going to show it with the masked head because I feel like most people are going to be doing that. Now, you can get him to look up about that much without doing anything, but if you kind of just half it on the ball, you could get more, and it doesn't look super gappy in any position. So you get it like that, move it all around. If you want to plug it down, it'll be less. So, you know, that's your own prerogative, but I think for a design like this, I'm going to be pretty forgiving, but even still, that's really good movement there. It swivels all the way, obviously. Shoulders are going to move upwards that much, down that much. Rotate 360, you do get a bicep swivel in there. A hinge at the elbow that moves in just a little bit more than 90, and you get a rotation at the elbow as well. As I already mentioned, swivel and hinge at both on the wrists for the fist and the open hands. The diaphragm joint doesn't do much without any modification. He's only going to crunch forward about that much. He'll crunch back or arc back that much. It does rotate, which I always love, and he has good pivot. So you could probably pop this apart because it's just a ball joint, and then, you know, at your own risk, chisel out a little bit around the ball joint in there, and then you could probably wheel out a little bit more movement. I don't really think he needs it, but it is a possibility. There's no waist swivel. The hips are on a ball joint, so they're going to move outwards that much, inwards that much. They'll kick forward that far, back that far. You do get a thigh cut. It's weird. It seems like it's molded in like a brown. I'm not really sure. The thigh swivel is on like an angle, but it doesn't really affect anything, so that's okay. Single jointed knee that does rotate. You get a swivel at the top of the ankle. It'll pivot, but it'll hinge forward that much, up that much, and as I said, it does pivot. So that swivel above the ankle really does a lot for this figure, and I really think that it adds a big element of making him so easy to stand and being a lot of fun to pose around. Because sometimes, you know, you get a figure and he looks awesome, but like you can barely do anything with it. He is not one of those cases. I think he looks really, really nice, and the articulation works great on a big guy like this. Now, I don't have much to compare him to here, but I think I have one of the most essential figures to compare him to. The 80th anniversary Iron Man from the 80th anniversary wave of Marvel Legends. Now, while Titanium Man is not part of the Marvel Legends line, obviously, I think he scales pretty much perfectly with him, and I really don't see a problem if you want to buy him for your Marvel Legends display. That's what I'm going to be doing. I don't necessarily have a Diamond Select display, and I took some pictures of these guys fighting. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love the way that they scale. I love that he's so much bigger than him in every way. I mean, you could, like, this looks like you could put Iron Man inside of his suit, which is so awesome. So, I mean, because Iron Man's on the side of the box. I threw the box away, but you can see, like, the one picture. I recreated it on my Instagram, at Zach Toys. So please, if you don't follow me on Instagram already, please go give me a follow on Instagram to check out these pictures, because they turned out really awesome. So yeah, I love the way that these two scale together, and the pictures turned out awesome. So while I don't think it's to a surprise of anybody, you're probably wondering, Ant, what do you think of this figure? And while I said it's no surprise, this is awesome. This is one of the best Diamond Select figures that I've ever handled, Marvel or not. It is great. If Rampaging Hulk wasn't a thing, or Savage Hulk, or whatever they want to call it, he'd be my #1 Diamond Select Toys figure. He's perfect for what he's supposed to be, and I really, really like him. The unmasked head is really, really nice. The paint sheen across the whole thing is good. I love that he comes with a fist and open hands for good options. I think the articulation is stupendous on a big guy like this. He's huge, and for the price point, these cost the same amount. And while this figure is no slouch of an action figure, for this versus this at a price point advantage, come on, it's a no-brainer. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give this figure a rating of 10 out of 10. It is damn near perfect. I don't really know what I changed about it. I really don't. I think it's a good blend. Maybe the diaphragm joint could move a little bit better, but I mean, if you really, really cared, you could modify that yourself. I'm not really too concerned about it, so for my needs and purposes, he's perfect. So 10 out of 10. But I would love to hear what you guys have to think about it. I think the consensus on this guy is that he's awesome, but if you really don't like this figure, why is that? Let me know. But with that being said, I think that's all I got for today. If you guys haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Please be sure to go follow me on Instagram, at Zach Toys. I took some awesome pictures of him fighting old Tony Stark himself. I would like to get to 300 subscribers by the end of the year. And if we do so, my friends, by December 30th, if we have 300 subscribers, or any time before then, we will do a giveaway. I'm not sure of what. I'll pick the coolest figure out at the time, and I will do that giveaway. We can have a poll or something about it on my Instagram. But go ahead, like the video, share the video, get us to 300 subscribers. But with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.